Hello everyone, this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and I'm here to bring you the weekly reading for Twin Flames for the week of October 14th to the 20th. Okay, so as always, I've already prayed over the cards and shuffled them. Oh, before the reading, thank you everyone to those who listened to the videos last week. It made me very happy to know that there are still folks listening to messages channeled from me out there, and I just realized that even if you subscribe to a channel, you have to turn on notifications. You have to click the bell. So if you haven't done that and you come across this video and you'd like to follow me on YouTube, subscribe and then click the bell beside it so that you get notifications if I do put something up. Okay, and if you have been subscribing and notifications aren't enabled, I think you have to unsubscribe and subscribe again and click the bell just so that will trigger that. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to the reading. At the bottom of the deck, we have here the Knight of Wands. And look, it seems quite contentious, but we'll see what the other cards say. Okay, because what I'm getting here is a sense of competition. And this is competition that deals solely in 3D. So this is a feeling of both twins almost struggling, but it's not really a feeling of struggling per se, but more of the wanting to get ahead in the world. Okay, and for your worldly desires. So there's a feeling of restlessness and ease. It's like triggering that ambition again and really wanting to get ahead in the world, wanting to get that checklist of things you want to accomplish in this lifetime while incarnated on Earth, all checked off. Okay? See, and then we have here the Eight of Coins. And so this is really working towards your goals in 3D. Okay, and here we have the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords, okay, I get it now. Okay, because the Page of Swords is a young energy, and yet it's almost a learning type of energy, kind of like an apprentice. And when you have this, okay, this is reconciling all of these feelings, these desires to move ahead in 3D, reconciling that with what you know as a multidimensional being. You see here the Six of Cups, and this is the time, you know, when you're quite evolved and quite gotten ahead in your ascension process. Part of that process is really the shedding of the ego. And when the ego is shed, okay, oftentimes ambition goes out the window. Okay, ambition, because you know what is truly important in the grand scheme of things, and that everything here on earth is ephemeral. Okay, it's very transient. And so here, this is reconciling what you know to be true on a bigger scale, on a grander scale, with how else you will make life more meaningful, comfortable, enjoyable for you in 3D. Okay, so there's a bit of reconciliation going on in there, trying to wrap your head about reconciling what you know to be true on the bigger scale things with how how you're going to make life more satisfying for you in this sliver in time, this blessing that you've been given of experiencing life in a physical body again. Okay, so there. That's quite kind of curious though, and we'll see how that translates to each experience of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Okay, let me open the cards of the divine masculine first. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords, Page of Cups, Two of Coins, and the Knight of Coins. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so for the divine masculine, the first card that he got was the Queen of Swords. So, because he has recently incorporated the divine feminine aspect of himself, here he is figuring out that there are other ways of doing things. It's not all attack, move forward regardless of whoever's in your way, and trample on everything else that's in the way. No, here we have the Queen of Swords, and she's both smart, and she's also how do you say it? Hold on, my earphone. She's I wouldn't say that she's manipulative, okay, because she doesn't go out and lay down the law, so to speak, but she goes the diplomatic route, okay. So for the divine masculines, he's learning or relearning that, again, there's a better way of doing things wherein it's not imposing his will upon others, okay, or he's not forcing himself to, just keep on running that treadmill, because that's tried and proven way of getting in shape. Okay, he's finding that there are other routes, there are other ways of doing things, and in that kind of mindset, he is also finding out and rediscovering that there are other ways wherein he could show his love and his affection, especially when it deals with his twin flame. Okay? Remember, we've been speaking about this for ever since I started reading on YouTube, which is a couple of years ago, wherein while we were still stuck in that patriarchal mindset, there was only one way, there's only one paradigm of having a relationship in 3D, which would be the traditional route of getting into a committed relationship and eventually marrying each other. But here, divine masculine, wrapping his head around that concept wherein love doesn't have to be caged in a commitment that is defined by 3D minds. Okay? So there are other ways of showing his love to his twin flame, whether that be energetically, and this is also his affection, because whether or not your twin flame is still in contact with you, if you're still in separation, if you're really not talking to each other, or you hardly see each other these days for a long time now, that doesn't matter, because if you've been doing the work and that's spilling over to your twin, and your twin has been doing the work, although at a slower pace than you have, he's still going to get and be able to receive energies and be able to communicate with you telepathically. Okay, so there are other ways in which he can show his affection when it comes to, because it is now anchored on unconditional love. Okay, and here we have the Two of Coins, and usually in this particular deck, and I was told to use this deck, this is the Twin Flame card in this deck, the Two of Coins, and you see that there is still movement forward. Okay, and this is a good thing. Remember, he had to take a brief respite. What do you call that in when you watch in the theater, when you watch a play, and I haven't seen a play in a while now, but yeah, the thing in the middle wherein, folks can take a break and go out. Intermission there. He took an intermission because he was trying to wrap his head around the new version of himself. But now this is good news because it is movement forward, and he is figuring out how is he's going to show all that affection that he has stored up inside of himself. Okay, so, and that's redirected. That's why we have here the Knight of Coins, and you see here two horses dynamically interacting. So there's an aspect of action involved with the Divine Masculine right now, and he's doing it very diplomatically, so he won't most probably he won't go out and say and do it directly, in the sense that he's just going to call you up and, one of those Love Actually boombox moments wherein he just spells out and declares his love for you. It's not going to be that way. It's going to be kind of a roundabout way, trying to see first how you are and all that, but there is interaction in store. Okay, and that is meant to, he's trying out this new way of how he's going to show affection to his twin, whom, although he has not publicly acknowledged it, he knows that has been supporting him through this stage of his journey at this time. And the card here we have for the Divine Masculine, I think, if I recall correctly, this is the same card last week. Okay, it's exchanging gifts. So that theme continues. And look, so there is a transformation out of the box, and this feline, this cat, reaching out to touch this ballet dancer, okay, who has just finished her transformation. So the ballet dancer here would represent the Divine Masculine. The cat would be the Divine Feminine. And see, there is a connection that's being made. And this connection is courtesy of the Divine Masculine trying new things in making that connection. Okay, just so that he can connect, okay, and show his love. Okay, so for the divine, that's what we have for the Divine Masculines. For the Divine Feminines, we have the Three of Coins, we have the Four of Cups, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Moon card. Okay. Okay. See, when it comes to the Divine Feminine, you have to put it against the backdrop of this, realizing that there are things that she wants to happen in her waking life in 3D. Okay, things she wants to happen, but reconciling what she knows before. And that's why here there's the Creator card. I didn't read that earlier on, but that provides context. So here, work has to be done on the physical plane, because there are things, there are hopes, disappointments, things that she thinks would expand her heart further, where she, if she would be able to accomplish them in 3D. And that's why the work continues. And as you can see, although this craftsman is honing in on the details, there are 2 coins that are already done and that are on display. Okay? And this would represent the divine feminine and the divine masculine. But work still has to be done with their combined result, combined output. Okay? The third energy. But then, because we're dealing with things physical, this would pertain to the combined output of both 3D version of your divine masculine, 3D version of you, divine feminine, and your interaction, your relationship here in 3D. And see, this remains but a hope, especially for some of you. For those who have found themselves, are fortunate to find themselves in physical union with their twin flames, then this is working on that relationship. Because it's not a magic potion wherein you come into union with your twin flame and that's the end of it. Okay, life is about progress, and with that, although it is a coveted state of being, especially in the twin flame community, it brings its own set of challenges, and and there, okay, because not all of those that come into twin flame unions are YouTubers, like Jeff, I think, and Shalea, and they make a spiritual business out of their unions. It's most oftentimes your twin has been doing something else, has a different field of expertise. Okay, but you're both awake enough to recognize who you are to each other in your intimate moments together. Okay, but oftentimes that's not put up on a big billboard, tarpaulin for everyone to know. Okay, so there are still things that the divine feminine is hoping, and which she still doesn't have in 3D. Okay, and so this, now she's listening to her intuition, to her higher self more, because these things that she doesn't have, she knows that there is a certain way to go about it. That would be the tried and tested route of, before, if you want to rise up from the ranks in a corporation, there's usually a career path for that. And these days, career paths for kids, for adults, they're very specific and very specialized. That at some point in time, if you find yourself not on it anymore, it's like you have to make a 180-degree turn. Okay, and for the divine feminines, they've already reached this part. Okay, wherein things are carefree, are happy, especially in 5D, and your life here is put into the proper perspective. As a soul, okay? And so all these desires that are burgeoning within the divine feminine, this competition, this feeling of wanting to at least reach that level of comfort, of not really worrying about anything, being as carefree as where is that? as you are in 5D, to have that reflect in your actual reality. And now here, so the Divine Feminine, okay, still working on those things that she wishes she could attain as a physical being, but then again getting in touch with her higher self, and listening to her intuition as to the best way to go about it, because it's like there's an internal struggle over there, okay, because there are things she wants in 3D, but there are things her soul craves for in the higher dimensions. And that's why there is the moon card here. On the one hand, it can signify that internal confusion. On the other hand, she's getting in touch with her higher self. You know, in astrology, when a lot of people know their sun signs, but the moon sign, which is a lesser known sign, is actually very, very important because it deals with your innermost needs. These are needs that fulfill you, okay? And that's why it's good also to know the moon sign of those you interact with, whether you're romantically attracted to them, whether you work with them, because you would know how to deal with that person in the sense that you would know what need you fulfill. I remember, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Well, this would be pretty much on I think, at the bottom. It's like a basic need that's not advertised, but it's like very good to know, because that's where the motivations come from, whether it's a need to be accepted and all that. So these are the inner needs of the Divine Feminine that she's currently exploring and examining, so that she could better get those things that she still does not have in the physical realm. Okay, so that's why we have the moon card here, and that's a good thing too, because she knows now to brainstorm with her higher self, and it's not go go go. So this is unless you go overboard with the whole ambition and greed and pride thing, it's something that you have to how do you say it? It's something that anybody who's incarnated here on earth can really relate to. Wanting to make things better for yourself. And the card here for the Divine Feminine, here we have Yang. So this is the Divine Masculine aspect of herself. And because here, wanting these things. So all this balancing the Divine Feminine aspect of themselves with this desire to power through, to get it, okay, in a masculine way. So this is very active, a very active card. And but now still brainstorming on what work has to be done so that all this can be accomplished. Because you know what, this state, people who are of high spirituality, when you get into that state, wherein nothing really matters anymore in 3D, and you're not so invested in accolades, awards, how big your house is, what kind of paycheck you bring home, and all that. The thing is, it appears to others that you have no ambition whatsoever. You're content. But I really don't blame them, because if if your body didn't need certain things to survive, when you're a soul, okay, it's just like when you're traveling to other dimensions, that it's very light, okay. Uh, there is no stress, there is no pressure to provide for yourself, for a roof over your heads or whatever garb you're wearing, and that's why most yogis, even Buddha, just was happy enough to sit under a tree. Very simple lives, okay? And yeah, because I was going to say that there is no judgment here if you want things for yourself in 3D, okay? Because that's part of the realizing that the life is transient, life incarnated is transient, and wanting to enjoy it, to experience, because that's one of the reasons why you reincarnated on Earth again, to be able to experience things in a physical body. And along with those things would be the pleasure that you derive from what you can feel, taste, see. So whether your guilty pleasure is, I don't know, shopping, nice things, as long as it's put into perspective, it doesn't matter. Okay, you want the latest appliance that has that's smart. Okay, you want everything smart with AI. It's part of the whole experience here on this earth now, at this point in time. Because aside from just going back to earth, resolving all your issues, and reawakening your soul, okay, your various other bodies, you also get to experience life here on earth. And this is a desire to have a more pleasurable experience while you're at it, so to speak. So there. So let's look at the card for the Divine Feminine. Oh yeah, I did. I did already. Wow, skipping back in time. Okay, so that's what we have. So again, this reading is against a backdrop of wanting some things in 3D. So you have to take that into context. For the Divine Feminine, this output of her whole experience, again, reconciling that. The best way to have the best physical experience for her in 3D. Divine Masculine, finding other ways to show his affection to those that he's truly connected with. Okay, Twin Flames is soul family. Other ways of interacting. Okay, so I'm going to pick a card in the middle for both twins for this week. Okay, we have here the King of Swords. And the King of Swords, very good, because here, whatever choices Divine Feminine, Divine Masculines are going to make, given their goals, okay, it's going to be a wise one. And when they do make that choice, it's going to be swift. It's going to be decisive, okay? It's like it's going to be a committed choice. So both twins are in the act of reconciling, okay, what they want and what they still want, and what they know themselves to be at this point in time. So here, all this wisdom and all this action, because the King, even if it doesn't look like he's the frontliner in the field, he directs everything. And while they're ruminating on the course of action that they will take after really brainstorming with their higher selves, then the action will come next, because the path will be decisive for each of them. It's going to be clear, and it's going to be authentic. This is the King of Swords. It's going to be unapologetic, okay? Because, and that's very nice, because a lot of the conflict, the resentment that gets that builds up in people is when they do one thing that is not that is really not in alignment with their true self, their authentic self. And but then again, that becomes a problem if you still don't examine that first. Who is the authentic you? And that's what the basic course, sort of the ascension course, if I liken it into a course in school, that's like the first level. Knowing who you are, what you're hurting from, who your twin flame is, who your soul family is, how you're connected to them. And now that you know, then you can make better decisions. Okay? And it might not be popular decisions, because everybody else around you is still stuck in the 3D track, wherein if you want to be this, then do this, do that, do that. Not anymore. Because your bottom line now is being true to yourself while providing a satisfying experience for you while you're incarnated here on earth. Okay, so that's what I have for you this week, and I hope this helps. Like I said, I am open for readings and healings, so if you need assistance in that area, please do visit the website to see how I can assist you. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye.